How are you all? I'll just wait a few minutes. This was a very impromptu live, so you wouldn't know that I'm on here. I'll just give you all a few minutes to see if anyone notices. If not, I can do it to myself and you can all watch it later. Last time I did the live stream, I did it in a horizontal manner, and then you find out that when you do it horizontally, it's not part of your monetization. So go figure. I don't know why that would be a thing. Hello, you two. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday, or is it Saturday over there, depending where you are. Pop me a little message. Tell me where you're from. Thank you. Thumbs up to you too. And a big cheers. Hi everyone. Thanks for coming on. This is a very impromptu live stream because I had a rotten week and I didn't know if I was going to be up for it. So I couldn't plan ahead, and that's one of the unfortunate things of living with chronic pain and chronic ill health problems. So some of you might know about that, I'm sure. So very impromptu, otherwise you can watch it later in your own time. I've got a few things to share. Hello, Rena. How are you? Cheers. Where are you all from? Have I got Australia and the USA? Hi, Thea. Nice to see you. And I believe you've not been feeling great lately. From Adelaide, Rena, yes. I hope you're feeling a whole lot better now, Thea. I always see your beautiful makes on Litse's channel. That's Coco's Crochet. She loves to share everyone's makes. Yeah. I bet you're getting warm up there now. It's warm up there in winter anyway, isn't it? Yeah, Litse. She loves to share everyone's makes. She has a special video once a week to show off everyone's works, and it's a really nice thing to watch. So go and watch Coco's Crochet if you haven't found her yet already. All right, I'm going to get started in my finished objects. We'll do that first. Since I did the last live, which I think was 3 weeks ago now, I made this wall hanging. Now, what it was, I started doing the willow square just because I loved it and I wanted to do a tutorial so that those who needed a tutorial could follow along. Then I decided to make it into a larger block. So I did an extension on it, which is virtually the same thing twice, just with the colours in a different spot. And I call this stitch the icing on the cake, because doesn't it just look like icing? I don't even know what the real stitch is called. So icing on the cake. Anyway, I have done videos for the square, for the extension, and then for the wall hanging itself, how to put this together. I had an empty space that was sitting behind me on my special wall, so I really wanted something a bit bigger to fill it out, and it's worked out quite well. I'm happy with it. I'm not sure whether to fill these in with tassels. I'll have to wait and see. I don't mind it in every second at the moment, but you know, we can change things when we want to. Okay, next finished object for last week was this. Oh, thank you, Thea. It's usually got brown in there. Anything I do, I seem to have a brown, a tanny colour, or a gold is what I seem to add to all my colours. Right. Last week I finished this Jacob's Ladder panel, and this is part of my grandson's very special Nana Jill blanket. I was really pleased to get this done because boy, these have been taking me such a long time. They're sock yarn and they're quite wide. So the panels go this way. I haven't got the book here to show you, but it is, oh, it's in lots of my videos. You're bound to have seen it there before. I just can't remember the name of it at the moment. I'm a little bit El Vago. I've had a rough week. I'll talk about that in a minute. So there's that one finished, and I've started the next one, which this time I'm doing something simple, and it's just double crochet in the back loop. So in the back loop and the third loop. I'll have to explain that to you another time on a tutorial, but it makes it look nice because you know sometimes when you crochet into the back loop only, it pulls up and it gets really gappy and it doesn't look very good. Well, going into the third loop solves all those problems. So we'll talk about that another time. Hi guys, where are you from? Happy Sunday and good morning. Now, what else have I been doing during the week? I have been dyeing yarn for the past few weeks, and I didn't get a lot done this week because I wasn't feeling great, but I've only got a few left to do, and then I will be able to have my yarn sale. Let me show you. This is one of my favourites. I love making this one. I don't make very many of the same, but hey Lee, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. But this one is a real fave and it gets snapped up too. Hey Michelle, it must be early for you over there this morning. I was early starting too. Yeah, I don't know, it's just one of those ones. It's got nice pinks and I love the addition of the lichen colour. So it's a greeny gold colour again, adding gold in. The next one I did is, it looks kind of like a, thank you Rena, it looks like a berry ice cream or something like that. I think it's really pretty, but that's not one of the ones that I usually make, which is good and fine. Look at me going outrageous here. Look at these two. They make me laugh because, again, they're not my colours and, oh, would I use them? If I was going all out, probably I would. But I just love how they make me smile. They're such happy colours. I love the effect of blending colours together. Now, when a lot of yarn dyers dye their yarn, yeah, boysenberry, that's what I was trying to think of. Exactly right. They're called 8-ply, Michelle, but they are thicker than an 8-ply. So I questioned the man from, these are from, oh dear, I can't think, Nundle. These are from Nundle Woolen Mill, the bases. It's a beautiful soft yarn. It works up so nicely. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, Lee? Anyway, so I purchased these because they were called 3DK and I thought they were going to be an 8-ply. This was way back in the beginning. And I phoned him and I said, I think they're bigger than an 8-ply because I did that wraps per inch test that you can do to figure out what size your yarn is or what weight. And he said, yes, they are bigger than an 8-ply because, yeah, it's beautiful yarn, isn't it, the Nundle? He said it's called a 3DK, which apparently is in the old terms, and I don't know what other words are in the old terms that have still come through, but the 3DK means a worsted or a 10-ply, so it is thicker. Now, most people buy these ones for either beanies or cowls. I've had the odd person buy enough to do a knitted jumper, and that would be so lovely and warm. We don't get cold enough weather here to warrant one of these, but oh dear, I do love it. it dyes up really nicely too. There's just something about it. The way it takes the dye, the way it works up, and after its first wash, it becomes even softer than it already is. I'm not sure how that works, but I guess there's chemicals and things, and I've added chemicals onto it with the dyeing process. So yeah, it's actually more of a worsted weight. I do have 8 plies now because I bought some from, was it Chester's or Wool for You? Either way, it is from the United Kingdom. So to think that we have to purchase yarn blanks from over the world, over the other side of the world, because I can't get any 8 ply in Australia, would you believe? I can get sock weight, so 4 ply. I can get sport weight being 5, but I can't get an 8 ply. There is one dealer in Australia that I can get those last few I mentioned, but no 8 ply. So I don't know what the story is. I was forced to then have to purchase from the United Kingdom, look, which isn't so bad because their prices, for some reason, are so much cheaper that when you add the postage onto it, per skein, it works out about the same as what I pay for this and what I pay for the sock yarn that I can get from Nundle as well. Now, in saying that, there are other smaller manufacturers in Australia. They create very boutique yarn bases to dye, and they are super expensive. So if I was to buy them, I would have to pass on the cost of that, and I want my yarn to be accessible to whoever would like to have it. If you can have it on a regular basis, that's wonderful. And if you can't and you want to save up and have it for a special occasion, that's even better still. But I can't be charging $36 to $40 for a skein of yarn. So from the United Kingdom it comes. Now, where does their merino come from? South America, I think. South America and somewhere else. Man, my brain's not functioning this week. I've had a doozy. Yet the yarn that we have from Nundle comes either from Australia and or New Zealand. So it's all being shipped all across the world. You know, you think you get an Aussie product, but it's just comes from everywhere. Hello, Judy. Really nice to see you. Oh, Michelle, I was thinking you were Perth. And just one more thing about the yarn dyeing. I wasn't going to discuss this, but that's okay. There's lots to learn. When the wool has been sheared from the sheep, oh, you are Perth, yep, and gets sorted, it gets carded, I think, and a few other processes. Then, if it is to be superwashed, it gets shipped to China. Australia does not have one superwashing facility. We did, apparently, up to some years ago. It shut down. Oh, okay, and Tassie. You're right. You're very right, Michelle. Nundle does get their wool from Tassie, New Zealand and Australia. Thank you for reminding me. But this having to ship all the fibre over to China to have it superwashed and then comes back here and gets spun into yarn. It blew my mind. I was really disappointed. I was kind of upset about it actually. In Geelong, I wonder, do they? Is that on one person's property who, you know, does the yarn from the sheep's back to the yarn? I'm not sure. Yeah, but when I asked the guy from Nundle, he said, yeah, no superwashing in Australia. Something happens in Geelong, yeah. I wonder what it is. Yeah, anyway, that's the story about the superwashing. Oh, if you don't know what superwashing is, it's a chemical treatment which flattens the fibres of the yarn, the scales I mean, the yarn has little scales that are open and they catch. So it flattens those so you can actually wash that yarn in the machine and it won't felt. Whereas if it's 100% wool with no superwash, you do not put it near a washing machine. It's hand wash only. So again, I kind of wanted to not be a person to use the superwash method, but it's just so user friendly in the end result for you guys. So I went with superwash. I think you're a real stalwart when you just do 100% wool only and you don't use superwash. Yeah, you can throw it in the machine. I usually put it on a gentle wash and it's all good. Anyway, so that's a lesson on a part of dyeing the yarn. Hang on a tick. We digressed. Now, this one's a fave that I often do. So a few of them I've got in memory. I don't write anything down. All of the others I make on the spot. It just comes from how I'm feeling and what evolves. I'll start one and it will evolve into more things. North Augusta, wow, hello Wendy. Thanks for being here. And I decided to make a few more tonals to go with these. And I did another blue as well this time. I'm not good at doing blues, I don't think. Now, you would think that it wouldn't matter what colour dye you used. If you used the same process, it would be a-okay. But the colour really affects things a lot. I struggle doing blues because blue's not my colour. But I think, yeah, I love this combination and I think that looks really nice. It's worked out well. So I'm trying to make myself do some more cooler colours and blues, of course, because lots of you ladies love the blues. I love the way these blend into each other. Oh, now that's what I was going to tell you about blending colours. Some yarn dyers think that blending colours is not the way to go. They like to have defined colour stripes and don't like seeing the colours mix. Now, I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but I love mixing the colours because do you know what I do? With my pan, when I've got the yarn in it and it's really hot, so it's taken up the dye well, but there's always a little bit left over. So I get my pan and I just tip it side to side and then that way as well. And it lets one colour blend into the other and I love seeing the end result of that. It's amazing. And look, I think I've ruined all of two skeins in the whole time I've been dyeing yarn with that. And it's usually with a yellow that has just ran and smothered. So I'm doing pretty well. So that's what I did last week. Got some more dyeing to do today to finish off. Then it'll be let that dry, twist it into nice little skeins, take photos, and I might be able to have my yarn sale next Saturday, I'm thinking. So if you would like to be part of my yarn sale, even just to watch what's going on, you need to go to Instagram and my yarn account is gumleaf_yarn. Okay, my normal account is Gumleaf Crochet and Yarn. My hand dyed yarn account is gumleaf_yarn. And what I do is pop up a photo. I write how much the skein is, how many of those skeins there are, and usually a little description, though it's getting a bit hard. So what I have done recently is put up a description of each of the bases. So you can actually go to that account now and read about the bases that I will be using. So then I write what base is underneath the photo. And then all you do, if you want it, is to say sold or pop your name underneath it. And with the multiples, as one person sells it, I'll change the number on the post. So say if I've got 10 of those blues, someone buys 5, I'll then write 5 left, 5 of that colour, just so people have some idea, because it's too hard otherwise if I'm selling multiples and people have got multiple names underneath the post. So you want to kind of feel sure that you're going to get the skein that you're after. So that's my little hand-dyed yarn business. Never did I ever know I'd do something like that. I tried it out using botanicals. I absolutely loved it. I thought, I am going to give this a go. I did, and I really enjoy it. It's hard to get to it at times because it's a very time-consuming thing to do. But once I get on a roll, oh look, you can see my mess in my very last video that I made. It's just a catch-up vlog video on what I've been doing. It shows you how I managed to take over the whole house. Not only the craft room, not only the lounge room, not only the dining table, but the kitchen as well. So have a look at that video after this. I'm a little bit crazy sometimes. Hang on a tick. Cheers to you all for being here. It's really nice. I love it. Okay. Now, last week, I was feeling tired, cranky, irritable, frustrated. I was in a lot of pain. I wanted to get something happening. I wanted to get a project happening here for you all, something to crochet, and it just wasn't happening. My head was all over the place. I was having lots of nana naps because I just couldn't stay out of bed. So ultimately the nana naps have helped. This morning I've woken up feeling a whole lot better. My pain is much less and I feel happier in myself. It goes hand in hand. So there's a few reasons that contributed to last week's frustrations. On the last video I did, I showed you that I really wanted to make this project and put it online so that you all could just follow along. Instead of, look at all of this, you wouldn't think. So that's granny stitch, just changing colour to make triangles. And then it gets to a point where you repeat a few times over, right? So I asked around a few people and they were like, it's granny stitch, it shouldn't have a copyright issue, yada yada. I did contact the designer of this pattern. She got back to me after a few days and she said no, that's a no-go. She would not be happy if I did that. So my other thought was, if we like this enough, we could just make separate triangles and join them together, because I see a blanket here that has 2 triangle and a line, 2 triangle and a line, and the same color around here. That's just my vision for this one. Now, someone on here didn't like the idea of the triangle blanket, but if you do, let me know and we can do that one. Now, my other frustration is I am too scared to start something if my yarn's going to come from America. Now, you may or may not know that, and lots of people said you can't copyright a granny stitch, but apparently you can. So I better respect her copyrightness and not make it up like this. Okay, We Crochet Official, which is a yarn company called, and it's also crochet.com, approached me to be one of their affiliate sponsors. And that was all great. Yes, love to. Tried their yarns out, really lovely. Filled out, what happens is, you have a yarn company or whatever company it is, say it's an Esky company or Yetis or whatever, and then you have the people that they use as influencers to use their product and show off their product. And when I sell some of their product, I get a very, very small commission, and it's not even about the commission. I really don't care about that. But there's this in-between company, okay? So you have to do your application and a whole lot of other IT things on the website of that in-between middleman. Now, I managed to get through it with the first company that they were with. Then they changed companies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Brain damage to the point of the frustration. I really felt like having a teary, which is silly because it's just over a silly online technical thing that is beyond me. You know, when you get to the point where they want you to put in a link for your YouTube channel. Did that. This link cannot be used. Couldn't find another way to create the link for them. They want your website. I don't have a website. I couldn't go further or next because the website section wasn't filled out. And there's no person that you can talk to help you through these things. Look, I'm sure you go through this with other aspects of life. It's happening more and more. But not only that, when you are in the system, you have to create, a personalized link for every yarn that you use. So this yarn, I created a link for the tweed. What's it called? Oh, I'm gone today. Anyway, for this yarn, I created my own personalized link. Don't know how I did it, but I managed it. You know, couldn't remember the next steps. So now that they're with another completely different middleman company, I've got to do that all over again. I can't even do that because I can't even get to that stage through the application process. Brava Tweed, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Wendy, thank you. It is Brava Tweed and it's lovely. I really like it. Oh, Lee, it has been so frustrating. And the girl that I contact at the yarn company, you know, only gets back to you once a week or so, and you're waiting and waiting, and you just have no support. Now, young people might be able to manage this easily, but people my age, I'm 59, who I was a registered nurse, my job had nothing to do with computers at all. I didn't grow up with it like kids do nowadays. I can't do it. Even my daughters, I tried to show them last time I did the application and they were like, oh, Mum. Anyway, I managed it last time because I had my phone, my husband had his phone, and every little step that I needed to know something, he'd look it up and tell me, and I would try and do that. So, you know, two-person job. I said to myself, this is not worth the stress. I do not need this added stress because that's not what it's about. So I did write an email to my contact person and I said, look, I'm more than happy to do this for you for free. I don't need to be paid a few dollars to have all of this stress. So she said, all right, let's see if we can work something out, some sort of compromise, some sort of middle ground. And I've yet to hear back from her. So the whole reason I'm telling you this story is because I had an order of yarn in to do the next blanket that I want to do with you guys, which is going to be one of those rectangle centers. All right, lots of you would love this blanket to be a tutorial. You don't want it in granny stitch like most of them are made. You know, the one where you do a chain and then you go across, down and across and up. So you're just working around the whole thing in a rectangle. I don't know what name it is. Anyway, we're going to do it, but do it with different stitches rather than granny stitch. So I had earmarked yarn in a worsted weight from We Crochet Official that I wanted to use for that. You know, with every day and every week that goes past that I don't get the contact back, it's like, brain damage, don't need it. I'm happy just to use my own yarn, honestly, so we can move on. Oh, some things in life just aren't worth it, are they? You know, it's a lovely idea, and it's a really nice thing to be offered an affiliate sponsorship, but it's way more hard work than I could have imagined. I thought it'd be an easy process. So I'm sure there's lots of young people out there who can just jump on, they know what to do, and off they go. Not me. Not me at all. So, yeah, yet to waiting to hear back from Caitlin to see what she comes up with. If she can't come up with a compromise, I'm going to withdraw from the affiliate, and that's okay. I might just purchase some of their yarn to use anyway because I really like it. I love the knit picks. I've not used that before, and it's really nice. So we'll see what happens. I might just have to start the blanket in my own double knit size yarn. Hang on a tick. Need a drink. All right, so last week was very messy and I was very tired. And when you're becoming teary, you know that it's time to stop. I didn't want to stop, but I did. Had a little nana nap every day and now feel a whole lot better. But what I also did last week while I was laying in bed was binge watch a YouTube channel. Now, Judy from Which Piece Craft, she lives in Cairns. That doesn't even matter, does it? Anyway, she's Australian. She introduced me to Gary from Urban Yarn because when he was over here visiting, she got together with Gary. She's known him for a long time online. How lovely is that? So I found Gary's account and I have been watching every single episode. I've started at the start and I'm going to work my way to the end. And I love doing that. And you know why? Because I find you get to know the person a whole lot more, and his videos are just so pleasant. They're about his makes and his yarn acquisitions. I love seeing all the different yarn that you can get in the United States. Oh, he was an Aussie. Yeah, he's in Canada. Is his husband from Canada? I did forget that he was originally from Australia, so they're obviously coming back to see family and visit. Anyway, Gary's really lovely. And that's Urban Yarn. Yes, hubby is from America. Urban Yarn, if you want to go and have a look at him, I'm just loving every video. So that was my week. That was a positive thing. That was good. Now, while I'm here, I want to remind you about the community tab. Of course, I didn't look up to see which video of mine teaches you how to use it, but in a few videos back on one of my vlogs, so it's not the last one, it would be the one before. If you don't know how to use a community tab, I show you what to do because it's a bit tricky. Its wording is a bit funny and you think, is that where I really put a photo? My meet up with Gary was my major year, love doing his mood board mouse. Oh, okay, Judy. Yeah, I bet that was so special. I can just half imagine. I've only met 3 of our online friends. One of them drove down here when I was doing my big charity blanket project. She wanted to meet up and she bought yarn and she bought granny squares for me. Linda, that was just lovely. And then when I went to one of the fibre festivals, I met up with Sue. She's Instagram. That's okay, Thea. That's A-okay. I met up with Sue and another lady again, which has gone from my mind. And we had a fabulous day. It's like we'd have known each other forever. It's so special. So if you can ever meet up with someone that you know online, you might feel a little bit scared, but as soon as you get with them, it's like, again, you've known them for such a very long time because we talk. We talk on here. For years we've been together. We have history. So that's a wonderful thing. Anyway, community tab. Lots of people have been putting up posts more often and I'm really enjoying it. So don't forget that the community tab is there. It's there to showcase things that you've made. It's there to ask for help. If you're struggling with something, pop a photo up, ask the question. There's lots of us who would be willing to jump on and help you out. I have been posting over this month a, what's it called? Yarn Friends Rock. This month is called Yarn Friends Rock. It's on Instagram and it's a thing where each day they give you a different prompt. So you need to come up with a photo and a post about that prompt word. So I've been popping that on the community tab too. I'm a little behind, so I'll catch up with that today. I've got a few jobs to do today. Krista, you're one of them. And Tiffany, I need to send out a workbook to you. So that's the community tab. Feel free anytime. Don't feel like you're doing it too often because we'd love to see what you've made. We really do. And also that hype button. I mentioned it last time in my last live. When you go to make a comment now, you'll see something that's in the comment section and it's got hype written on one side and it's got a sentence and some numbers on the other. If you tap on that, excuse me, and give me a hype, it apparently helps your content to get rated somehow. And it's actually kind of sad that we've got to ask to do these things because of what the platform is. So the platform's now asking for not only likes and subscribes, turn on that notification bell if you want to be notified of when I pop something up. You've got to just find the bell and tap on it and it'll give you a little drop down box. And now it's asking for hypes. But the hype's kind of obvious. It just pops up right in front of you. So give me a hype and I really appreciate that. You can only do 3 a week, which is kind of funny. So if you like any of my posts or my videos, give me a hype. That would be great. So this week coming up, now that I'm feeling a lot better, I have sampler blanket squares to catch up on. I was hoping to get them done last week. I just couldn't. So today I would really like to get back on the horse, get those sampler blanket squares done, and then I might be inspired to do the next project and just leave all that other stuff behind regardless of what they're going to say. I might just start a project because I was waiting and then, you know, I put you guys out and I don't want to do that. When I promise something, I want to, you know, give you the goods, not just hang around waiting and nothing happening because I'm waiting on a third party. Okay, so that's been my week. Let's hope this week is a better crochet week. Have you guys had a good crochet week last week? Did you get some crocheting done? Did you buy any yarn? You won't see me buy yarn very often because I get it in bulk. I do it when it's on sale. I get it from the United Kingdom at either Lovecrafts or Wool Warehouse. So I get a big amount all at once. So I don't have lots of little acquisitions to show you, which is a bit of a shame, but I just don't buy yarn for the sake of buying yarn. I have got yarn there that is always ready to go. And that's convenient for me because, again, I get really frustrated having to wait so long. I don't buy much from Spotlight, which is our big box store here in Australia. I don't like a lot of what it's got. Like, that's a really polarizing comment, I'm sure. But when they're acrylic, like their baseline acrylic, is dearer than the Stylecraft, the paint box, and the yarn smiths that I get online, plus the postage payment. Something's not right there. It's like, you know what I mean. The thread that I get from the United Kingdom is so much better, and it is very comparable in price, even though I've got to pay $60 in postage. The world's going crazy, isn't it? It's just not right. Anyway, that's my issue with Spotlight, and a lot of their yarn is really expensive. So again, you wait for sales. And I love having yarn here, so I don't have to wait for sales. I keep telling you every live that I'm going to take you with me when I pull out my colours for the cowl that's coming up next month, the Universe in Bloom blanket. I'm really looking forward to that. That'll just be a little video on its own. And we can pull those colours out together and play around, see what stays and see what goes back in. I like the earth colourway for that blanket, but I'll probably take out the lilac colours and pop in reds. So it'll be brown, white, yellow and gold, of course, orange and red, and a bit of green maybe. So that's going to be a lovely blanket to make. Are any of you doing it as well? With Deirdre from Look at What I Made? I love doing cowls, and it's been ever so long since I've done one. We used to do one every year. We would have Granny Square Day. No. I think we did these ones in July. It was Granny Squares, and you'd do one Granny Square a day. And I love getting the pattern, seeing what it's going to be, making it up, posting it. And the best fun part of it was watching everyone else who's making it. Yeah, for the night, but I thought I would pop in quickly. Hello. Spotlight's not the best, agree. Bendigo wool is yeah, Bendigo is really good. I'll get back to that in a tick. Yeah, love about cows is seeing what colours everyone else uses for their versions. I just love it. You know, you have a month-long thing to look forward to. For Aussies, Bendigo wool is mostly lovely. Don't buy the classic. I made that mistake, and it is really quite scratchy, but the luxury one is gorgeous. It's soft, it's hard wearing. I put that one in a wash as well. I've got a blanket. That's my Atlanticus blanket. I think it's way down in the very first lot of my videos when I started on here. Yeah, doesn't come out misshape, no nothing. Just hang it on the line to dry it and pop it away for summer, and then we get it out. Every winter, pop it on the top of our bed. It's so warm. When you just put that blanket on top, it's just right. I guess it is like a weighted blanket. It just keeps you warm when your feet and your legs are a little bit cold. So Bendigo is great, and their cotton is really lovely too. Gorgeous colours. I'm yet to get to Bendigo. It's a bit of a pilgrimage for a lot of us Aussies. Hi, Marjorie. Oh, wouldn't that be nice to meet some? That's fantastic. You enjoy that. That's great. I look forward to meeting someone else too. One of my friends came through some years ago, and I got very sick and very affected from the COVID vaccines, and I just couldn't meet up. I just couldn't get out of the house to go and meet up, and I really regret that now. She's from Singapore, but I was just too unwell. So that was one missed. Oh, hello. Welcome. I'm about to finish up, so you might have to watch this again. Sit down and grab a cuppa. Pop it on while you're doing some crochet. Anyway, I will wrap it up there. I did talk about Bendigo, didn't I? Yes, and the cows will send swatches. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Christine. Wow. And then there's the back room at Bendigo with all the yarn on sale. Oh, you could go crazy, couldn't you? I'll get there one day. I'll get hubby to drive us down in the caravan and do the pilgrimage. That'd be great. Anyway, I am hoping everyone will have a great week this coming week. I know mine will be better. You're so welcome. I'm feeling a lot better. We'll get another project going on my channel, and I'm just going to let those other issues sort themselves out now. It's like I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done with the stress. Don't need any extra stress. So, happy crocheting, everybody. Take lots of care, and I hope that you're all feeling well. And if you're not, take care of yourself. It's such a hard thing to do because we want to keep on going, don't we? But sometimes we just can't. And just remember that if you do take that time out, yes, you feel like you're missing out, but you come out the other end feeling a whole lot more invigorated and a whole lot better. Yeah, Bendigo is lovely. I highly recommend, highly. Okay, thank you so much for being with me, you guys. I always, thank you, Wendy. I always enjoy these lives, and I will see you again maybe in another fortnight. I was trying to do them once a fortnight, but a third week got in there. Have a great day, Michelle. Grandies are coming over. Beautiful. Oh, don't we love our grandies? We miss our own kids and this empty nest business. I don't know, but grandies are just wonderful things, aren't they? Love making blankets for them. See you next time, Rena. Have a great day. All right, I'm starting to ramble, so I will wrap things up. Yeah, good. Yeah, sometimes on the posts on YouTube, they pop up and the lady has used a different language. So I go to translate and then I go to Google Translate and figure out what I can say back in return so that people don't feel left out. You too, Lee. Have a great evening. All right. Bye, guys. Love you all. See you next time. Oh.